Hi, I'm Deborah Stengel, founder of Sedona Soul Adventures and international best-selling author of The Journey to Happy, coming to you again from incredibly beautiful Sedona, Arizona, and I'm so glad you're here with me. In these series of videos, I'm talking about concepts from my book, The Journey to Happy, how embracing the concept that nothing is wrong can transform your life. In my book, I talk a lot about connection, because I believe that's what's causing a lot of problems for people today. People feel disconnected from other people, even their own families. They feel disconnected from the larger society. Many people even feel disconnected from themselves, and I say that because so many people hate themselves or dislike themselves. And then there's the disconnection that happens from all the negativity that it feels like we're surrounded by all the time. What causes that? Why do some people come from a glass half full or a glass half empty? We know from the Enneagram, which I talk about in some of the other videos, that some of this is about how we're wired. But I believe it's even deeper than that. I believe we come onto the planet with a divine spark, a divine connection. The Bible says that we're all created in the image and likeness of God. Hinduism says that our souls are godlike. I see this divine connection that we all have as this beautiful jewel that is perfect and strong and cannot be destroyed. But then stuff starts to happen. Mud and gunk gets splattered all over this beautiful jewel that is our divine connection. And when that starts to happen, it builds up and builds up to the point where sometimes we can't feel the connection at all. Or even worse, we start to believe that the connection wasn't even there in the first place. And in that disconnected space, people can do some really terrible things. Have you ever heard the story of the statue of the Buddha in the Asian monastery? I don't know if this story is true or if it's just something that I've heard many times, but many hundreds of years ago, there were monks in a monastery in Asia, and they had a solid gold statue of the Buddha. They found out that their monastery was about to be invaded, and so they took mud and made the statue look like it was just a simple stucco statue. And over the years, everyone forgot that underneath was the golden, beautiful statue. Hundreds of years later, they were moving this large statue and it was dropped, and suddenly the stucco cracked. And underneath it was this incredible gold. So I love two things about this story. The first one is that it took a cracking to show up the gold. That underneath the mud, what was really mud, is this incredible, beautiful thing. Just like underneath the mud and the gunk that is built up on your beautiful divine connection, underneath is this beautiful gold that is the real you. I believe the trials and tribulations we all experience in life are just a setup for the cracking to take place. I had to reach my lowest point before I started to crack. Alcoholics Anonymous talks about hitting rock bottom before addicts are willing to do something to heal their addiction. The Bible talks about God being able to more easily come through the cracked vessel. If you're listening to this and you're in a place in your life right now where it feels like everything is wrong, first of all, I want to say, I get it. I've been there 20 years ago. Right at the time that I came to Sedona for the first time, my life was a total mess. Every part of it was messed up. My work, my marriage, my body, my money situation, absolutely everything. So I feel your pain and I understand that. But I also want to say to you that being in that place where you're ready to crack can be so exciting and so wonderful. That is how the divine connection can come through As the Bible says, God can come more easily through the cracked vessel. It's a place where you can be to really have the divine connection activated again. Because, and here's the important part, it's always been there. It's never gone away. It's always been with you. It's that beautiful jewel that is perfect and strong and cannot be destroyed. So how can you connect back up with that? What can you do to flip the switch? The first part is to start believing it's there in the first place. Can you do that? Can you take that leap of faith? I'm not saying you have to do a complete 180 turn here. What I am suggesting is just try this on for size. What if there really is a divine connection in there? Because I'll tell you, there's a lot of relief when you do that. And next, you're probably going to have to do something to clear out the mud and the gunk. I've given you a bunch of processes in these series of videos for how to start doing that, with things like discover the patterns, the Enneagram, meditation, affirmations. But if you have some heavy-duty mud and gunk like I did, you may want to think about coming to Sedona and doing a retreat, because in just a matter of days, we'll have that gunk cleared out and bring you into connection. We had a woman here a few years ago, and when she got here, what she said to us was, I hate everything. I hate my life. I hate my children. I hate my husband. I hate everything. When we dug a little deeper, we discovered that what was really going on was that she really hated herself and she was angry at God, which was completely understandable because as a young child, she had grown up with two parents who were very loving and wonderful, and then suddenly they died in a car accident. She was with them. She was hurt, but she wasn't killed, but she lost them at a young age. So here she was, this young girl, in this place and making this decision, which I think was pretty much an unconscious decision of how could a loving God do that to her. So she thought, God hates me, so I'm just going to hate him right back. And that's what she did. And her connection, understandably, was gone. When she realized that, it made such a huge difference. We did initial sessions with her that were designed to move out the hate and the guilt and the shame and getting rid of all of that gunk and all of that gunky energy, and also the guilt of why was she spared and they weren't. Then in her breath journey, the most amazing thing happened. Both of her parents came to her and she absolutely felt them and felt just totally filled with their love. But then she said something else happened. She literally felt what to her felt like the presence of God. She said it reminded her of the Harry Potter book and the movie where he sees his dead parents in the mirror, and she was filled with that same kind of love. And to then have it move into this huge connection with the divine. She was sobbing in her breath journey, and then when she was telling me about it, she was crying and crying, but they were tears of joy and tears of connection. She said to me later, "It's so weird. I came here hating everyone, including myself and God, and I'm leaving here loving everything." That's what happens when we can come back into that divine connection. We just have to first believe it's there and then take some steps to connect back up with it. So I hope this helped you, and if it did, please take the time to like it and then share it with someone who you think might get some benefit from it. And then also subscribe to our channel. And if you want an even more direct path to getting happy and staying happy, then go to SedonaRetreatGuide.com and get your complimentary copy of the Sedona Guide to Spiritual Retreats today. Or if you'd like to talk to someone about doing a retreat that's custom designed for you, call us at 928-204-5988. You can have the life and the relationship you want. I know it.